Yeah, so let's start with today's session, and today we will understand about selling, how to book the profits. So we discussed, let's take a quick recap. So we discussed about everything related to entry, everything related to how to analyze a base. Typically what we are trying to do is find a stock which is in uptrend. So this is the price, and when in a confirmed uptrend, stock is taking a pause and breaking out. Typically, the thesis is that the uptrend will continue till the time it reverses. Okay, so this is the nature of trend. If it's an uptrend, it will keep on moving up till the time it moves to downtrend. We learned about different stages, that every stock has a stage. Your task is not to try to figure out whether the stage is topping or whether the stage is not topping. If it is up, it can keep on moving up. If it's down, it can keep on moving down. If it's in consolidation, it can be in consolidation for a long period. So if it's in an uptrend, we understood about different kind of bases, that there can be three type of bases, which is upslope, upright, up and down base, based on which we can mark up the resistance zones. Okay, we can mark the resistance zone, and as the stock breaks out, that is where we get to understand more about the stock. Okay, we try to figure out what's going on. Typically, not every breakout is a breakout to trade upon. We need good momentum to come in it. Okay, so we wait for the momentum bars to come and a follow through. So follow through is more of a confirmation of that momentum bar. So momentum bar and then a follow through. That's where we get interested. We also understood about high float, low float, and all these stuff. Okay, now how to book the profits. Okay, because until and unless you book up the profits, it is not yours. Okay, it's all unrealized. A red candle, a simple red candle, wrong red candle can take it back all. So if you have a 15% gains and some news comes into the stock, it falls by 10%, 12%, your profit can go. So till the time you actually book, you actually lock up those gains, that is not your profit. Okay, it's unrealized. Only the thing which you have booked is your money. Okay, now before understanding what's actual selling way, let me ask you one simple question. What's the most important thing in trading? Is it, I'll give you options. Is it your accuracy rate? Is it who buys at the lowest price? Is it these two? Risk reward ratio? What else it can be? Position sizing? What's the core thing for a longer term success? Okay, that is something that you need to know about. Okay, that will define whether you will be in this business for 30 years, 40 years, till the time you are 65, 70, okay, till the time you are able to do some work or you want to do some work. Does a higher accuracy rate, will a higher accuracy rate is something that makes you a good trader? Is having this high means a good trader? Is having a high accuracy rate can be said that you are a good trader? Dave says no. What about others? Avinash says not really. Why? But see, say for example you have 95% accuracy rate, then why it's not a good trading? Why it's not a good trading if you have a 95% accuracy rate? Say for example you are having 99% accuracy rate, then why is it not a good trading? Yes, Dave says high losses equals to poor risk reward. Minimum 1:3 risk reward with 50% accuracy minimum. Yes. So this does not define your longer term success, though we all want it somewhere. Okay, we all want this to happen with us. Okay, at the stock we touch should be the next 30-40% mover. We all want it somewhere in our heart, but that's not the case. Okay, that is not the case. So first point is not relevant. For a longer term success, this is not relevant. Who buys at the lowest price? Okay, we all argue with each other. Okay, आपने कभी Twitter देखा होगा तो there are a lot of people keep arguing. Oh, you bought at 120. I was able to buy at 109. I am better. I am better in stock picking that. Oh, you're looking like a fool. You are buying it 150 so high. I am having it from 90 rupees. ठीक है, बहुत बार मैं भी पोस्ट करता हूँ. So I find this thing. Somebody randomly comes up there. Oh, I bought this at 100. It starts showing me the screenshots. Okay, putting 10,000 rupees there and saying 109 rupees. So is it that who buys early is a better trader? Lower price buy will make you a better trader, but you can say that I am a good trader. When can you say that you are a good trader? Does the lowest price, but why no? Okay, everyone bought at 150 rupees. You were buying at 135 rupees. So that means you have something, you know something which the others don't know. You are ahead of them. You have some special skill. Okay. Gaurav says risk reward with position size matters. Buying at the right time is important. Avinash says lower price setup which will 7 item time is of no use again. And then exiting on right time, it's about right entry and right exit. Correct. So who buy at the lowest is of no use. Maybe he is buying at 109 rupees, but he's having only 2% of capital, 1% of capital. It will not do any good. Maybe he buys at 109 but sells at 113 itself. And you are buying at 114, but you are selling at 130. So this is not relevant. This is again not relevant. These are all popular things which we all want to do. Okay, and there might be sometimes you have seen people fighting over these two things. Basically, it is more of an ego clash. You will go to parties, people will fight over these two things only. कि यार तूने इतने में खरीदा, मैंने तो और पहले खरीद लिया. फिर there will be third person coming up, he'll saying मैंने तो और पहले खरीद लिया था. Okay, some person will argue that whatever he touches becomes gold. Okay, whatever he touches become the next 40%. These are ego fights. Okay, this is irrelevant. This is mainstream thing which people talk all around, which is irrelevant. Now risk reward. For a longer term success into markets, risk reward is the thing. Okay, that you need to focus on. This is the area which requires your focus. Okay, because this typically will determine your longer term success. Okay, this will keep you ahead of all the other irrelevant talks. This is the only relevant talk in trading. All you have to do is focus on how to improve risk and reward. Okay. Another thing is position sizing, which comes after that. Okay. These two areas are of your focus. This is longer term focus. Okay. Of course, position sizing is also longer term focus, but it is nothing that you can keep on doing for your life. Okay. You cannot, at the end, you will come up with that maximum I can take is 20% in a stock. You cannot put 100%, of course. So, आप कहीं ना कहीं 20% पे or 15%, you will stop. So there is an upper limit in learning position size. Of course, in handling it, it is a life journey. Okay. But it is nothing to be taught in depth. Okay. That how to improve it. You will reach in a level that, okay, 15% is the area in which things are working. 7-8 stocks. This is good enough. Okay. Now handling it is of course a lifetime thing. But risk reward, this is something which you will have to keep thinking for your entire, maybe at least for 10 years of your initial journey, if not entire life. Okay, how to improve it, how to do this. So this is something which should be your longer term objective, to improve risk reward. Okay, it's been 8 years for me. I still try to do things which can improve my risk and reward. Okay, because that is what will make me a better trader. To understand more about myself, risk reward matrix is important. Now, what's risk reward? For those who are new, maybe you might be knowing. So let's say, for example, our stop loss is 5%. Okay, our stop loss is 5% on average. Okay, it can be less than an hour, it can be like 3%, also 4%, 5%. Let's take in average that on average it's coming 5%. Okay, so this is your risk in a particular trade. You are risking 5% of the position size. Okay, now reward. When you are taking a 5% risk and you want to be successful over the period, then you need to have minimum 10% average gain. Okay, this is like okay type average gains. Now, this doesn't mean that 10% is your target. This is a basic kind of risk reward relationship. So you will call 1:2 risk reward here. That when you are trading 50, 60 times, okay, now how to take out your risk and reward? For that, you will have to first take 50 trades. Okay, this is very critical. If you want to improve, you will have to do this. You will have to keep doing this. Okay, first of all is your 50 trades. Okay, then you have to calculate what is the average gain that you booked. So for example, in some stock you booked 20%, in some stock you booked 40%, in some stock 15%. In 50 trades there will be different percentage every time. Okay, so what's the average for it? Let's say your average is coming at 15%. Okay, in some of the 50 trades, when average when you are only right, only the positive one. Okay, negative one calculated separately. Okay, so average gain, let's say 15%. Okay, and for the loss making trades, out of the 50 in which you booked a loss, maybe in some case it can be 1%, it can be 2, it can be 3, 4, whatever. Let's say average is coming 5, for example. Okay, above 5 it will not go in our case. Okay, that's the upper limit for our stop loss. Okay, so it will not be above 5%. Late to late max it can be 5 in our system. This is average loss. So out of 50 trades, you come to know that what you are doing. We are taking a 1 rupee risk to make 3 rupees. So this will be called as 1:3 risk reward. Okay. Similarly, if your average gain is 20% and your average loss is 5%, you are at 1:4 risk reward. Now let's understand how this will impact up your overall P&L. Okay. So this is like a very basic trading plan sheet. Let's put up different figures up here and see how it moves. Let's say you have a 50-50 probability and your average loss, let us keep 4% or so average gain is coming 20 and let's say you're taking 10 trades in a month. Okay, so overall it will be, let's say 120 trades and you are at a 50-50 probability. Now this is what risk reward 1:4. Okay, position size, for example 10%, let's say. So when you are winning, you will make 2% on capital. Okay, 20% gains on 10% size. We are all talking about average figures here. Okay, after taking 50 trades, you are doing this. Not every trade you are doing this. You saw the 50 trade statistics and then you input in it to understand what's going on at the end. What is the end outcome of your trading? So when you will win 20% on 10% size, that is 2% of capital. And when you are losing 5% on a 10% size, that is on your overall capital minus 0.5%. So total gain when you are right is 120 into 50%. So 60 is your right trades and 60 into 2. Okay. So 120% you will make on all the trades or on all the winning trades. And when you are wrong, you are typically losing 30% in this case. So 60 trades will be wrong trades. 120 into 50%, that is 60. And in 60, in each trade, average you lost 0.5%. Okay, so that's 30%. In net, you are then coming around 90%. Okay, on capital. Charges and those things are separate. It depends upon, like it can be 8%, 10% to 15%. Based on how you are trading. If you are trading too much unnecessary trades, not waiting for setup, it can go to 20% of your profits also. And if you are trading fine, you are able to control emotions, only taking good entries, not doing unnecessary trading, it can be 7-8% of profits also. So charges can range from 7 to 8%. Typically, majority charges in this is not brokerage but the STT. And this can be like 20% also. If you are trading your emotional control is just too bad. Okay. You want to trade everything, cut off fast, not waiting for your profit to come, just booking everything at 5%. And the lesser your risk and reward will be, the more and more charges will come, because the more and more you will rotate up. Okay. So net gain is like 90%. So even after just having 50% accuracy, you come up with 90%. Okay. Now, if you will change this to 25, which is 1:1, net returns goes to 120%. Your accuracy, if it goes to 60, this zooms to 156%. Now let's see at just 5%. What's the thing? At a 5%, even at 60% profit, it is very difficult to make money. Now let's say even if you have 95% accuracy, I think then also it's not too much. Now see here you have a 90%, 95% accuracy, but you are booking at a 1:1 risk reward. So majority of your trades are successful. Okay, you have hardly some loss making trades, but when you are winning, it's just simply not enough to take home some money. Okay, it's 54%. When you will compare and do this 50, but make this 15, it is still coming more than that. Okay, it is still coming 60%, which is more than 50%. You improve your risk reward further, it comes to 90%. At an accuracy of 60, that 15 will make 84%. Okay. Instead of 15, if we go to 5, it's almost no money. So what is now changing up your P&L? Is it success rate? Because this has a limit. Okay, this has a limit. It won't reach to 90. If it reaches 95%, then it's not useful. Let's say 30%. Now you have a 1:4 risk reward. Even at 30%, you will make some money. You improve more, 1:5, it's 48%. Okay. If we'll go to like one person as we go to 10%, 10% will be like too bad. You will be needing then, I guess here instead of 20, you need 80 to make some money. 1:16. Okay. Here 1:16. In this 10% also you can be profitable. But here you will have to then wait for that 80%. You will have less winners, very, very less. It will require more and more of patience. Lot of loss making trades. What's a good space is this 60% and having this anything more than 1:3 over the period. Okay. That's something that is minimum requirement that you can call it as good. Okay. That you can call it as good. But a 2, it's okay. You will still make money at a 60% accuracy if you are just winning 10 and 5. Okay. But here, of course, one thing we missed changing up here. If you are exiting at 10%, then you will take more of trades. Okay. I forgot to change this figure. If you are doing at 10%, then instead of 10 trades in a month, maybe you will have 20 trades. 20 trades per month. Okay, so that is like 240 trades. Okay, so even 1:2, you will make fine money. That's why it is okay. You will make good money up here also. But 1:3 is really a very fine place. In 1:3, you can take like 13-14 trades in a month. 150 around, let's say 150, 105%. The less you say 5% you are going, so this will be more 300-400 trades in a year. So that is steadiest thing to do. Okay, even if you are taking 500 trades, you are not making much. Coming back to the core thing up here, the lesser your reward will be, the lesser your risk reward will be. First, you will have to take more trades. Okay. Your low risk reward means more trades. You will have to rotate more and more to make money. Okay, of course your holding period will reduce up here. That's how you will rotate more and more if you have low RR. More trades will mean more time. You will have to give more and more time. You will have to be more and more active up here. It will also mean more STT, more charges. Okay. Whereas if you will have a good 15% over the period, okay, then you will be at a very, very good place. Let's say 150 trades, you are able to rotate. Okay. 150 overall trades, that is like 150 by 12, 13 trades in a month, which is fine. Okay. At a 10% size. So 10 at one time you will buy 10 stocks, right? 150 is like you will be able to, even it can happen that it's even more than 150 in a year at a 10% size. Okay, you will increase size, of course, then number of trades will reduce. A good RR for a longer term success is 1:3. And okay risk reward, bare minimum. This is bare minimum that you should have is 1:2. A bad risk reward is 1:1 or even less. It can be even less. Okay. So we have to work here and then increase. In excellent is 4, 5, 6. Which is also possible. Okay, it's not that it's not possible, but here a lot of things will come related to psychology. Profit booking is directly related to your psychology. How to build psychology is to think of increasing the risk reward. That is what tell you how good your psychology is. So if you are trading currently, let's say you have taken 50 trades and the data is that your average risk reward is 1:1. It is telling you, okay, indirectly it is indicating your psychology. Okay, indirectly it indicates your psychology that your psychology needs more work. You are you get tempted, okay, you want to trade something every day, you are unable to sit out, you are impatient, you want excitement all day. If your risk reward is 1, this is your psychology, this is the characteristic of your trading that I can tell you just from your risk reward. Okay, or you get fearful. You see a red candle and you are in fear. Oh, okay, all my profits will go. I should book right now. You're having these kind of things in your trading if your risk reward is 1:1. So profit booking is highly related to psychology, and risk reward will tell you how your psychology is at the moment. See, what happens sometimes is that you may think that you are trading good. Okay. You may think that your trading is very good, you're doing right stuff. It may not be the reality. For knowing your reality, you will have to go to the risk reward relationship, because that will tell you longer term success. Once you develop your psychology for 1:3, 1:4, 1:5, you don't have anything else to figure out over longer term. See, position size you will figure out very quickly. Here also psychology will play good part, but compared to risk reward relationship, it takes less time to do that. Also, position size may tell you an immediate thing, but a longer term thing is this only. Okay. Now let's see how things changes based on psychology. So why I wanted to tell you is to understand that your risk reward will tell you your psychology. People don't do this. Okay, I know people from 5 years, 6 years. I will ask what's your average risk reward. They are not able to tell because they have never done the work. Everybody wants to become a trader, but very few are willing to put in the efforts to actually become a trader. You think that just trading every day will make you successful? No, it won't. Okay, so these are just for example figures here which we have taken. I'm not telling you that this is something that you will do. This is something that you need to do. These are all figures which we have put here. It may change based on your own trading. This is something which you need to focus over longer period. Now let's move to selling part. So profit booking is more your psychological ability rather than a rule basis. Okay. Rather than rule basis. Your ability to hold will be defined by how you are handling your emotions. Okay. How you are handling your emotions. And for that, you will have to go through some questions. Now, let me ask you these questions. Just answer in the chat box. Be honest to yourself. It will only help you. Are you fearful if you see a red candle? Say for suddenly 3 days you are holding a stock and now suddenly there is a 5% red day, a big candle of 5%, 6%. So does it hurts you? Like, are you fearful? यार और ये क्या हो गया? ये तो सब गलत हो गया. Okay, I may lose all my money now. I should have sold yesterday. Does this red candle makes you fearful? Anil says no. Great. Payal says yes. Hitesh says no. No, I have exit plan before entering trade. Good. Gora says yes. Somik say no. Tipali ji says no. Once stop loss is clear, there is no fear. Great, great. Harshit says still no. Yes, if more than 5-10%, okay. Yes, when not sufficient profit cushion, then. Now this will hamper your, if you are fearful, okay. If you are not, then good. You have already completed that stage in your trading. Okay, but at some point you will always be in that space. Okay, but when I started also, I used to fear, okay, seeing a red candle, because what happens is that we continuously keep seeing our profits. Okay, P&L 5% बढ़ गया तो अब कितना profit है? अरे इतने हजार रुपए. अब 10% if it is increased, what's the amount profit? And when we see one day suddenly third day coming a red candle, it may hurt. Okay, it happens with everyone. It's a emotional handling process which slowly and slowly everybody builds. Are you afraid of losing some percentage gain? So if you are afraid of this, then of course you will be afraid. Okay, in this, it can be second thing. You are at a 40% profit in some name. Now, does that profit, seeing that profit, make you fearful now? कि यार this 40% is so good, 30% is so good, it's already like 80,000 rupees profit. Okay, अब बुक कर लेता हूँ, ऐसा नहीं हो ये भी चले जाए. Okay, how many of you get fear by looking at profit? Okay, it's not even a red candle. You are just seeing profit like 35%, 40%. That makes you typical shit, man. Now what type of feeling? Dipali ji says yes, Aniruddha says yes, Dev says sometime yes, Hitesh says sometime yes, Somik says yes, Rohan says yes, a lot of people. Okay, very common. Okay, exactly did with Anand Rathi share and brokers. Okay, great. Yeah, so it's a very common. It's a very common thing. So this is a psychological issue. You should know this, that it's a psychological issue that you need to work for. It can be different for each and every of each person of you. Okay, it can be different. For someone it can be the first case, for another one it can be second case, but you need to be aware of it. Now third one is your desires to sell at the exact top. Let me ask you this question. You sold a stock today at 130 rupees. You booked a 25% profits. Now on the next day it's 5% up. What's the feeling that you are getting? Is it regret? Do you feel regretful? Do you feel sad? You start calculating that अरे यार एक दिन और रख लेता 5% है तो 15,000 रुपए और आ जाते यार शिट 15,000 रुपए चले गए गलत कर दिया. Do you get that kind of feeling? Rohan says regret. Dipali says but it also depends on holding time. Don't do depends and these things. The feeling, just about the feeling. Okay, because when feeling will come, or if feeling is coming, you won't see depends or this or that. It's a feeling. Okay, so feelings are feelings. At that immediate point of time when you're feeling regretful, you will not see any logics. Okay, we humans are emotional people. Okay, logics we don't follow logics. We work towards following the logics by controlling, managing, improving the emotions in every area of life. It's the same thing. You're always emotional. Logic is this, emotions are this. You build that emotions now. Okay. In chartered accountancy, you need to go through tons and tons of book. Logically, you should read this page daily. You have to work 8 hours, 10 hours, you will have to study. But emotionally, you don't want to. But then logic says you have to do, so you build your emotions, you build your capacity, right? Nobody is like by birth. Some people may have that capacity, but nobody is by birth. Most of the people doesn't have that capacity. They know logic, they know they're emotional, where is there, who at what stage they are. Then they work towards that emotion to fulfill that logic. Okay. Got past it, great. Sometimes it again before, Anirudh says before I used to be like that, now I look for opportunities, great. So this is one emotional challenge. Okay, this is one emotional challenge. Somewhere written, maybe many of you are saying that you have got passed through it. Someone says that I used to be like, but let me tell you today also, somewhere deep we all want to do it. Okay, even I want to do it. Somewhere deep we all want यार कि हमने बेचा उसके बाद नहीं, because it satisfies your ego somewhere. So by end day, if you'll ask me, I also say yes, that's my desire. I logically I know I cannot do it, but it is still it will always be your desire only. Okay, it will be a deep desire कि यार मैंने यहाँ बेचा, यहाँ उसके बाद immediate वहां से stock नीचे गिरा. You will feel a different kind of satisfaction from within कि यार मैंने क्या बेचा है, क्या sell करा है. Okay, that will happen whether you have taken 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, 8 years of your journey. Somewhere deep it lies within me also. Okay, you cannot eliminate it. It's an emotion. The emotions, you will never be able to eliminate it. What I'm trying to tell you is realize. You don't try to eliminate it, won't happen. It will not happen. Okay. Learn to handle them. Okay. I know that's my desire. Somewhere my logic says it's not possible. So I bridge that gap. I bridge that gap slowly and slowly. Okay. So that my desire is like desire only. I don't then work to fulfill that desire because logically it's not possible. In early stages, we try to fulfill that desire. We work in fulfilling those desires. कि यार मैं कुछ तो ऐसा करूंगा, कुछ इंडिकेटर ढूंढूंगा और मैं कुछ ऐसी चीज तो होगी कहीं किसी के पास दैट मैं कर पाऊँ, मैं एग्जैक्टली टॉप पे बेच पाऊँ. Someone will come and tell you that it's not possible. You will say, "Oh no, maybe he is not knowing it. That's why he's saying he doesn't want me to progress." कभी कभी हम ऐसा करते हैं ना. If somebody comes to you and say negative thing, we say that, "Oh, he might not like seeing me progress." आगे बढ़ रहा हूँ इसलिए इसको जलन हो रही है. Okay, that is kind of thing which comes. Regret of selling any we talked about. Now, next question is, do you fear looking at news all day? You say you are holding a stock which is a 30% profit, and there is suddenly some news coming in money control, on Twitter, etc., some XYZ handle with XYZ followers just writing about that this is about to fall, this is happening bad, money control, huge articles, or why this company may not work in future, why they will lose XYZ contract. Some interview coming by some other person saying that this is that RSI oversold level, this, that. Typically, there are 200 sources, okay, that will come in your way. Are you ready to handle them? Okay. Are you ready to handle all these 200 outside things that will come to you? If you are new, less than 2 years, you are not ready. Okay, so be honest with yourself. If you're thinking yes, like you will be able to handle it initially, you will not be able to handle it. It will be overwhelming. You're buying some setup, you have a particular thing in mind, you learned all the things, but then next day some news come that, oh, this has lost this contract, this is XYZ thing, the promoter is doing fraud. There's some post you will find in Economic Times that too much of pledge promoters have been doing. These will be overwhelming in your initial months or years. Okay. Not weeks, months or years. It will be overwhelming. You will like somewhere get lost in it. Okay. Will not be able to figure out karu kya abhi. It will happen. And that will again impact your profit. All the things we are understanding, these are what will impact your exits. You bought a stock, setup was there, but then suddenly you saw some tweet that auto sector is extended. Now that gets into your mind and you just have taken a position, 15% position in a auto stock. What happens next day? You get fearful. You think that, oh no yaar, मैंने इतना लिया था, अभी stop loss hit हो जाएगा. I should probably wait for the news to settle. I don't know what this thing is, but people say this across all the time. News to settle. Let the dust settle. Okay. Let me ask you, does these things ever settle? Does news coming in Money Control or Economic Times or CNBC or whatever it is, will it ever settle? Or it can be some macro thing which is going around. Okay, Trump saying this, Trump saying that. Recently there was US economic shutdown, right? Government shutdown went on for like 20-25 days, I think. Before that, some Ukraine war. Before that, India US tariff, after that China US tariff, then some India China some war or something coming around. Does these news ever settle? Okay, right? What do you think? Like, will these all news will ever settle in life? Life says no, always will be there. What about you? Do you think that there will come a month in future where there will be no negative news? Do you think that? Are you that optimistic? Dipali says no. Anirudh says no. Uncertain times can't follow every news. No. 100% of the time there will be news. In my last, it's been like now 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Okay, 8 years into markets. In 8 years, I've never seen a month in which there was no negative news. Some or other thing is always going on. Some fraud here, some corporate issue here, some overvaluation news, undervaluation news, US tariff news, currency news, okay, war related news, some sector related news. 100% of the time it will keep on going. Don't expect dust to settle. I hear people saying all the time, I'll wait for this news to complete. I'll wait for this thing to happen. Or next will come then. Is that the way of taking decision? No. Your decision should be on charts only. Let it come. If the news is too bad, worst on worst, your stop loss will get hit. Okay. Until unless such event is like happening once in 5 years, like election is once in 5 years, right? That is something which I'm not talking around. Okay. I'm talking about these everyday some issues, okay, geopolitical or these all things coming around. These are all time issues. Next thing, does Twitter and YouTube affect your decision making? I think you cannot say no. I will write for you. Even if you write no in the chat box, I will not agree to it. It will affect. 1% tweet may not affect. If you're seeing every here and there, same people writing up there, it will affect. Next day, let's say for example, you were at 10% profit, you saw such bad news, you took an exit. These all things will affect your profit booking ability. Profit booking is directly emotional handling. Okay, how you are handling your emotions. That is what is profit booking. That's why profit booking exits are purely personal in nature. I cannot tell one single way that fits all. It will not. Some are stuck up here, some may be stuck up here, some may be stuck up here, fulfilling that desire, some may be stuck up here. Each one of you will have to build the way. Don't expect from the first day that you will become very good in exiting. It is a journey to conquer all these emotions. Okay. And that will happen slowly and slowly. If you will try to move too fast up here, it may hurt you back. Now, you need to be aware of all of these things. Okay. So now we'll discuss what's the way to exit, but you'll have to somewhere find your own way in it. You'll have to, like, I'll give you a way to do. You'll have to fit in yourself, okay, by understanding where you are at the moment, how good you are in managing your emotions. And these things are very common. You'll have to fight your way towards improving it. Once you handle up all these emotions, then your risk reward will improve. In starting, let's say for example, here you are afraid of losing gains, then you might get stuck at 1:1 risk reward. If you are not able to move ahead of this, okay, you will be stuck at 1:1 risk reward. बिकॉज 6% प्रॉफिट होगा, आपको डर रहेगा यार 6% नहीं चले जाए. ओके, यू विल स्टार्ट थिंकिंग इन दैट वे कि यार अभी एक नेगेटिव कैंडल आ जाए और मेरा चले गया तो अच्छा. इट मे पॉसिबल दैट इन द प्रीवियस स्टॉक इट डिड हैपेंड. यू टुक फर्स्ट ट्रेड, it worked. You took second trade, after 6% some negative candle came, you are out at cost to cost. In third trade you will automatically think कि यार पहले केस में अच्छा करा था 6% पे मैं निकल गया था. In second case I should have sold. Now third time you will sell at 6%. Fourth time again you may do the same, the stock may win to 40%. So that will affect your risk reward. Okay, the better your risk reward will be, the better you will get at trading. Okay, that's what I want to tell you from this, that find a way to fit in.